What's up, everybody? I'm Scott,
And I'm Jason.
and you're listening to Liquid Carnage. How are you, my friend?
Scotty, this weekend I hurt my back, man. I hurt my back.
Getting
I'm
old, bro.
struggling. I don't know what I did. I didn't lift anything wrong. I didn't do anything, but man, my lower back is killing me.
Hey,
So as soon as I get the feeling better, I'm going to start stretching every day because man, this is horrible.
yeah, it's Janice has me try. She's trying to get me to stretch every day because she used to be a massage therapist, so she understands the importance of making sure your body is stretched out so the muscles don't get knotted up or whatnot. And my back has been out for years. My hip is chronically out of place, so now I've developed a constant ball of pain in the bottom of my foot. And unless I stretch my back and my hip, I've got that like shooting pain at the bottom of my foot, and I just can barely walk with it.
Does she give you suggested stretches for that?
She does, and
Okay.
like I said, thank God she was a massage therapist, so she can give those therapeutic like and try to work the area out. And
Yeah.
I carry all my tension in my shoulders and my neck.
Uh-huh.
And she has small hands, and for as strong as they are, I still have boulders of tension up there.
Yeah. I've gotten into the habit lately or not lately, but in the last years, my neck, because I'm sitting at a computer all day, my neck gets so torqued and messed up that every day I just have to rotate it and keep it loose, and it helps, but man, it hurts when you first get started, that's for sure.
I know a big part of the problem for me, it's the ergonomics of my office chair. I do not do the proper office ergonomics. I never have. In fact, I am probably the poster boy for things you should not do.
Okay.
I mean, I need to have a chair that I can lean back in and it goes back, and I like to sit, really low because I'm a bigger guy, so I like to sit lower so I can be eye to eye with people and it's less intimidating. And I often, if I have to type, I will type with my feet on the desk and the keyboard in my lap. So I'm not exactly what you would call ergonomically sound professionally.
Well, yeah, and I know that for me, I think it's the same thing. So many more people now have desk jobs, and desk jobs are not made for ergonomics. That's for sure.
No.
Like you said, the chairs don't necessarily fit right, or you're hunched over, or your computer monitor is not the right screen size height, so your neck is cricked or whatever. And yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like if you're going to go into the business world, now this is just my theory, you should be issued a standard issue desk when you've entered your full growth, whatever age that is, like what, 25. So
yeah, probably 25.
That's your height. This is the desk built to your height specifications, and this is the chair built to your height specifications. Work with this. You will always have to get this height for your desk and chair to make sure you're ergonomically set.
That's, what, that's probably like something they could give the college graduates too. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Okay. Yeah. You graduated college. Congratulations. Here are the dimensions that you need to ask for when you're looking for a new desk.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for the 6 figures in money you gave us to get this information and a degree.
Exactly.
Lovely parting gift.
I know. A lovely parting gift. You get a free desk.
I'm sure our EP Tom is appreciating the old man ramble that we're going on right now about the desks. It's just because I know he's got the same problem. He just won't admit it.
Noreen swears by an ergonomic keyboard or keyboard. That's supposed to help with people who get carpal tunnel and bad,
Is that the one with like the
believed
split?
in it, but lately I've been experiencing some discomfort in my wrists and hands. I thought, maybe I need to get one of those now.
You've been in a relationship too long.
Could be.
You had to practice.
When you don't have a lot of arm strength, hand strength anymore, wrist strength, you gotta get an ergonomic keyboard. I never had that problem before. When I was
exactly
single, never had that problem.
Yeah, it's fine. Strong like bull.
In fact, all my O's and P's and L's and M's were flawless. Never had a problem with those. My left hand, my A's and Q's and E's, I have a little bit of problem there, but my right-handed keyboard, I was always fine when I was single.
Well, everything's catching up to you now.
I know. Everything's balancing out.
Oh man, I know we had a topic today, but it seems like we're taking a turn.
I know we did kind of take a turn, but we've done this old person complaint thing a couple times, and I'm sure our listeners, they know.
Well, it's a process though, because I think a lot of our listeners are within our age bracket, and they understand because I think it's something everybody can relate to.
Yeah,
it's I hit 40 and things just started to kind of it wasn't like an immediate drop off the cliff, but I'm getting hospital bills now. Like, well, shit. If I don't have been this and that's all you did, I would have skipped it.
Oh, so I don't know if we talked about this, but I have the obstructive sleep apnea,
Uh-huh.
which is
Are you
it's
wearing the
not
Darth
like
Vader mask?
what's that?
Are you wearing a mask now?
Oh yeah. So this is my story on the. I have the bad sleep apnea. There's two. There is one sleep apnea where you're just overweight, and because of your weight, uh, your inhalation is blocked,
Uh-huh.
and so that one is pretty normal. You can get that fixed. Some people use little strips on the nose. It's basically just
Yeah.
opening up things. Well, when you have obstructive sleep apnea, it's basically your body doesn't receive the messages while you sleep from your brain saying you have to breathe. And ultimately, if you let it go, it gets progressively worse. And that's how a lot of people die of massive heart attacks in their sleep,
Uh-huh.
because they're not getting enough oxygen and their brain just doesn't communicate to breathe. So I have this. So for the last 3 or 4 years, the doctor said, "Look, you need to wear sleep app. You need to wear a sleep machine. You need to have a CPAP." Well, I hate them. I
Yeah.
absolutely hate CPAPs. I don't like them. I don't like them. They're comfortable. Unfortunately, I can't wear the nose one because the nose one you have to keep your mouth closed when you sleep, and I don't keep my mouth closed. So I have a mask that I have to wear like Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lately though, I just had my physical, and my doctor says, I can tell that you're not wearing your sleep mask because there's certain things in your blood that are showing signs that you're not wearing your sleep your CPAP mask.
Uh-huh.
So I really need you to focus on doing that. So I've been taking it more seriously, and I bought like 3 masks now, trying to find the right one. And the excitement of the story is I think I found the right mask for me now.
So I want to go back to what they can tell. Like there's like not enough oxygen in your blood. Is that how they can tell?
Yeah, I
Or
think that there's a blood. I think it's called HEMOCRIT is what it's called, and
hemocrite?
somehow there's something in that reading that was elevated for me, and the elevation shows that I'm not getting enough oxygen when I sleep.
Uh
Yeah, but it's exciting because you're supposed to. They say it's supposed to help you sleep better. You should be able to get a full 8 hour sleep without your, because when you have sleep apnea, your body has to like shock it into waking up to breathe.
mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times I'll have death dreams. Like my body will just like full go into whatever it takes to wake me up to be able to breathe.
Jeez,
Well,
Lord
they
Vader.
say that once I get this mask thing figured out, that I'll be able to sleep like 8 hours a night and everything will be great. So in my old age, I'm starting to appreciate, okay, well, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to get excited about it. So I turned it into a game, and I think I've solved the puzzle of the game now. So I think that we'll see how it goes.
Even in my best nights of sleep, snoring or not snoring, I can't sleep 8 hours straight. I still have to get to pee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. No, because there's all kinds of things that keep me up. What I hate, though, is when you're kept up just because your mind won't shut off.
Yeah.
You ever had that where you're thinking
Mm-hmm.
about something at personal life or work or something, and your mind just will not shut off?
Yeah.
I
No,
hate
I get
that.
that all the time.
I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem with that is you have to learn how to meditate and just kind of get in that quiet spot before you go to sleep. And I know I've got a hard time with that on like Monday nights, trying to come off the weekend, and your sleep schedule is already different on the weekend as it is. So you can sleep in a little bit later, go to bed a little bit later, and Mondays you're trying to get back on track, and it's just hard.
Plus, you got the podcast. I mean, that's
Yeah, I
always
mean,
enjoyable.
yeah, and you have a lot of things that are a little bit difficult. So you have to make those adjustments, and it can be a challenge. It can be a real
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah. So, but I last night I got 5 hours on this. You track how many hours you use the mask, and
Uh-huh.
I got 5 hours last night before I took it off.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, because the goal is you'd use it at least 7 hours a day. That's the ultimate goal is you use it 7 hours a night.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
I got 5 hours, and I was like, okay, 5 hours, I'm getting there. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
Well, I guess we have a goal that you've got a goal to shoot for, and as long as Noreen likes it, that's half the battle.
Well,
She
this is how I
understands the
found.
importance of it.
Yeah, this is how I found out about it because she would watch me sleep, and I would go like 45 seconds without breathing.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'd go, my body would like force it to breathe. Well, she started freaking out because she thought I was going to die. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why I
can
even
see
got
that.
started. They put me on the sleep. They do the sleep study.
Uh huh.
And they were saying that they count an apnea of any time that your breath stops more than 5-6 seconds or something like that. And I was having like 35 apneas an hour.
Holy shit!
Yeah, where I would not breathe for like 10 seconds or something like that. And they said, "Yeah, you got it really bad. We need to get that fixed."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you should take that seriously then. So I'm glad she's making you get your shit together.
Yeah, it's about time, it's
Yeah,
about time.
better late than never.
Well,
Oh
and
wow.
I mean, like I said, I won't be I won't make this a labored thing, but yeah, taking care of health is really important.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. And I know our EPs run into some health issues up in Denver over the last year, just minor things, but things that still make you go, huh? I should probably just do a few extra things just to make sure I'm okay. And then everything happened with our dad last year. It kind of puts things in perspective that you have to take your health seriously.
Well, isn't that the truth? I mean, some people are just they're like they're genetically inclined to those kind of health issues.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what my brother and I are. It's my grandma had the same thing that happened to her that my dad did, some kind of weird heart attack that they don't know what caused it. But she was in her mid 70s. He was in his mid 60s. So if it keeps dropping 10 years, Tom and I
Oh,
have
dude,
about
you only got 15 years left. To do all we
exactly.
can.
I got to bank on modern technology to fix this shit.
Hey, all I
And,
know is you've got a girl who is a massage therapist, a mother of two, an office. I mean, she's got everything going that can keep you alive for a long time, bro.
oh yeah, yeah, and she does great. She gets on me about my health too, so that's new, and I've got to learn to not be so stubborn with that. Like last night we're laying there, and she suggested that I get up early in the morning to stretch before I go to work, and then I do it before I go to bed too. And I get OCD about my morning routines. It's just how
Yeah,
I am. Like
no,
I
I
get
know.
if I get out of rhythm in my routine, I feel off.
Yeah, it's like creating a brand new routine is like the people who have to have the soap dish turned a certain way, or
Exactly.
you turn it the wrong way, and they instantly know it's wrong, and they
Yeah.
instantly know that something's out of line. Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm getting right now. Like I have to get up at a certain time. I take my vitamins at a certain time. I'm in the truck in my office by a certain time, and I can be. I have a few minutes to kind of fudge on it, but at the end of the day, it's like if I don't do it, I just feel like I'm completely off. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm with you. The forming a new habit like that is very difficult. Like this sleep apnea thing for me has been tough. I mean, I've been dealing with this for 4 years, and most nights up until recently, I just don't wear it. I hate it. I hate the way it feels on my face. I hate the fact that it sometimes the gas goes into my stomach and not into my lungs, and
Oh,
it's like I hate that. I just hate it altogether. But
yeah.
I realize if the doctor's saying that she knows that I'm not wearing it, then that's a bad sign.
Yeah. My cardiologist said I should get a sleep study, and I might have to wear one of those at some point. And I said that's fine. If things get worse, we'll talk about that. But until then, I'm not wearing the Vader mask until you absolutely have to make sure that I have to. And I feel like I can get at least another 10 years or so before I can get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I started having to deal with it at 45, so
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It's like I'm fine, Doc. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah,
You're
what's the
fine.
worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
big
hey,
deal.
hey
No
doc,
big deal.
don't. Hey, just give me the magic pill. Just
Yeah,
give me the
right.
magic pill.
No such thing as a magic pill, people. You got to eat right, exercise, and hope the genetics are on your side.
Oh, and don't. Hey, and so kind of circling back now to our topic, and don't become a snitch.
Yeah,
That's bad for
snitches
your
get
health too.
stitches. Yeah, yeah, snitches get stitches. So
So I was Scott and I were talking, for everyone who's kind of like, what the hell are you doing? What kind of segue is this? I was talking that I had finished watching the Netflix series called Narcos, and Narcos was basically a dramatization of the real life uh, pursuit of the by the DEA of Pablo Escobar.
yeah,
And so but one of the things that I noticed is that in the show there were so many people who tried to do the good, right thing by informing the cops or letting the cops know that, they can capture one of the bad narcos or the sicarios. And it never turned out well for these people. Like every single time the person either got killed or the DEA promised them a ticket to the United States and then they never got the passport to the United States. You know what I mean?
And then they got killed because they got caught by
And they got killed because they got caught.
cartels.
And it made me wonder what goes through a person's mind to, see something going bad and then to talk to people, the authorities, about getting it resolved.
Well, one, I think in this particular scenario, when you're talking about the 1970s and 80s drug cartels of South America, Pablo Escobar's the king. And you bend the knee to the king or you die. And there was no gray area in that. And it doesn't matter how much the DEA was trying or what side they were playing. If Pablo found out or his people found out, you were dead. That's just the way it was. So that's a matter of survival. And, there's no gray area with that.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And yet, throughout the show, a lot of the ways the DEA was able to capture Pablo Escobar was because people taking the risk to give the information or provide, locations of where they were at. So someone took a higher purpose of their life and said, you know what, I know it's against Pablo Escobar, but I'm going to do the right thing.
I feel like that if somebody did that, especially in this scenario, it's because they lost a loved one because of Pablo Escobar's activities or because of the drugs that he was shipping around.
Yeah, possibly. That's good. Like some people joined, for example, the military knowing that Pablo Escobar was purposefully targeting military and police.
Yeah.
Like, so what kind of brass cojones, if you want to use the Spanish term, what kind of brass cojones do you have to knowingly go into something where you're a target from day one?
I think it's huge, man. Like if you know you're a target, that you obviously have a mission, so you want to be a target.
Yeah.
You want to be found out so you can go and do what you got to do.
Yeah, the one thing that was upsetting about it was the people that the DEA promised, oh yeah, we'll get you out of the United States, get you to the United States, we'll give you a passport, and then they totally left them hanging to dry.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that's like, that's not right, man. That's not right.
Well, that was during the Reagan administration, right?
Well, that time was Reagan and Bush because it was the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. What was that famous line by Reagan? Hi, we're the government. We're here to help. That's the worst thing you could ever hear coming out of any kind of disaster or I guess in this case, drug bust.
Right.
No good comes out of that back in that time frame.
Well, yeah, people can promise you anything, but if you're not able to make it work.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's just the way it goes, though. That's an unfortunate thing that happened that time in that era, but those people made the ultimate sacrifice, and I think you see that a lot in rural areas, so to speak, or suburban areas. I guess I don't think you'd ever see that a lot in rural or urban areas, just because the types of people you tend to find.
Well, so I wonder too, because we've heard those stories about a crime happening, and then the police go door to door, and no one saw anything.
Yeah,
because either one, they don't trust the cops, or two, they're afraid of the retribution that'll happen if you say anything.
Yeah, and I think it depends on if you're going through Compton or southeast LA or different boroughs in New York or the projects in Chicago. Most people know, who's doing what. Even the cops know these, even if they still have to ask. They're not going to say anything because they don't want to get killed.
Right. So is that a character flaw, or is that just a normal?
It's called street smarts.
Okay.
It's one thing if you've been there forever and you know who's doing all the the crime and whatnot. It doesn't behoove you to say anything because if they know that you're the one that said something, you're dead.
So basically, some criminal faction has now taken over your neighborhood, and you just have to live with it.
Pretty much.
And what does that say to us? Because I'm
Oh,
already saying that's bullshit, man. Why do the bad people get to determine what happens in my neighborhood?
no, and I get that. I understand that completely. It's you shouldn't have to determine. They shouldn't have to determine that. It's just a matter of, you know, people want to survive, and if those cartels or those gang members or whatever else are as bad as they claim to be, or appear to be, then it's best to keep your mouth shut, because you know they don't have a problem with violence and crime.
Well, this also kind of leads to a different even question because we had a young girl. I don't know. She's probably in her early 20s, if even that, who came to the door who was trying to gather signatures for some sort of political movement that was going on here in the Phoenix area.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I've never volunteered to do that.
It's
Now,
a scary time to be doing that too.
what makes that person though volunteer to do that? Saying, "Boy, this is so important to me that I'm going to volunteer going door to door to talk about a topic that might be charged, if we want to use that term." Like, what makes someone do that?
The drive to change the world.
Yeah. So it's almost like the private passions of each individual person is not as important as the public virtue of the whole of us.
No, I don't know. I think it's young and dumb.
No, come on.
No,
That don't cop out on young and dumb. I see
I
old people do it
hear me
too.
out. Hear me
Old
out.
people do it too.
Because what they've lived their life. And hear me out. You'll see a lot of those younger people get involved with with trying to change the world and this and that, or do the right thing, because that's the way we're raised. We're raised to do the right thing. In a lot of ways, when you go through school, you're taught the difference between right and wrong, and you really believe right and wrong when you're coming out of school. Do you remember how dumb you were when you were 18?
Yeah, I guess I was pretty stupid. I did know right from wrong, but I don't know if I was energetic enough to stop someone else from doing wrong.
Yeah,
I just knew I wouldn't do wrong.
Yeah, but you knew the difference between right and wrong, and you didn't know how the world worked necessarily all the way. You knew how your world worked, but outside your little bubble, you didn't know. And like that girl that came to your door to have the signatures for that petition, she doesn't know any better. She's trying to make a difference, and you know what? Maybe she does.
And maybe she will.
Maybe that's the start of a political career, and she becomes the next U.S. senator, and she's for Arizona. She's a powerhouse.
Maybe.
But
is she wrong though? Is she wrong, Scott?
No, I don't think she's wrong, because she's trying to change the world in her own way. She's not snitching on anybody. She's just trying to stand up for what she believes in.
Right. I guess that's the question is, you and I probably, and if I'm putting words in your mouth, you can stop me, but you and I are not so inclined to give to the public good. How about this? I've never volunteered to go door to door. I've never volunteered. Like, perfect example, when we were part of Kiwanis, right? What did we do really well? We were the hosts, or we were the people that were in the front, entertaining or whatever. We were not the sit there and go around and collect donations, and we weren't the we were the ones that they put on the radio, right? That was our thing.
It's funny you mentioned that, just to kind of get off topic a little bit, but it's hospital week at where I work, healthcare week, and we're having a bunch of food trucks and a dunk tank brought in on Wednesday, and the day before this show releases. So, if you missed it, too bad, so sad. They're having a dunk tank brought in, and the proceeds are going to benefit the foundation. And the lady bringing it asked, like, well, would you help? I said, yeah, absolutely. She goes, good, you can solicit donations. I said, no, I don't do that. And she says, well, you're the director of the foundation. I said, I know, but I'm not doing that. I said, I have a way that you will make more money off of me by people dunking me than me going out there and asking for $1 or $5 or $10.
Oh,
now, if you want me to go out and do that, I'm busy.
Yeah, so it's like using the resources to the best of their abilities.
Exactly. I said, but if you want me to sit in the dunk tank and harass people till they're so mad they give you money to throw a ball to get me in the water, I will sit there all afternoon and let people do that.
That's your game. There we go.
Because that's what I do. I know how to talk to people, and like Roddy Piper. I watched his biography on A&E the other day.
Okay.
What a great story. But man, that man always had ways. He never knew when he was going to have to cut a promo, so he always had like notes of things he could say, just to, irritate people, because that's the kind of heel he was back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And I realized, like, that's how I am, man. I was like, I know, like, certain people, things I can say just to kind of irk them a little bit, just to kind of razz them and give them a hard time. And they're the ones that would pay the $5 or $10 to do this.
So maybe that's where we come back full circle on this. That is, maybe there are certain people who do, like you said, they do the entertaining part. This girl, her thing is she's really good at going door to door and not caring about who answers the door, just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just within her skill sets as a person.
Well, she hasn't done enough to realize that's dumb. You can get people like her to do it.
That's dumb for us because we don't like doing it. Doesn't mean it's dumb.
We've done that, so we're past that. We know it's not a good use of our time.
How many times have you gone out to go get signatures for a petition?
Never.
Exactly. So we are just not good at it. Doesn't mean that it's dumb.
Yeah, but how many times when I was in banking did I have to go door to door and ask if someone needed a business loan? Or how many times did I have to go door to door for Kiwanis and say, hey, we're having a golf tournament. Do you want to donate? The widget changes, but the principles are still the same.
I know, but it's not dumb because it's someone else is good at it.
No, you're right. You're right. Maybe I said it wrong.
We're allocating resources to where their skills are.
Yes. And sometimes you realize that I have developed a different skill set, a better skill set at something else, and it's not worth my time or your time to have me go do something like this when that's a entry-level position in this game.
It is a waste of time for you to ask me to change your oil.
Yes.
It's a total waste of your time. It's a total waste of my services and skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically.
That doesn't make it stupid for anyone who does change oil. It just means that they're better suited people who can change oil much quicker than I can.
Yeah.
It's always so funny because I always laugh because Noreen's boys are both really big into cars, and they'll get in these conversations about, 320 engine blocks with chassis, overcam chassis things with, the flip-flop things going, and they'll just go off on for like 30 minutes. And I'll just stop and say, oh man, it had a steering wheel, it had 4 tires.
Yeah.
It had a windshield. Oh my goodness.
It was
they're like,
great.
what the hell are you talking about?
Oh yeah. We had, Mother's Day, we went to dinner with the Kowalskis, Janice and I did. And we're, Janice has gone back to school, and so her first class was a basic Excel spreadsheets class she has to take, knock it out. And she's going to take the final on Sunday night. And she was talking to Danielle about it. And Danielle's like, oh, well, if you need help with Excel, you could do this to the pivot table. And they started talking about the pivot tables, and Dean and I were both completely just, what? And I looked and I was like, this is what they hear when we start talking about fantasy football. Like,
exactly.
It's like, now we're on the other side of it, and I can see why they don't like it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was like one of those, when the window crashed, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is what if you're going to volunteer to do something, volunteer within your skill sets.
Yeah, and I think we got a little bit off topic. Volunteering for your skill sets versus narking on drug lords, or
because that's someone's skill sets. They are totally fine with putting themselves out there to stop a wrong. That's their skill set.
I guess that's a good way to bring it home. That's
a good way to bring it home.
That's a bit of a reach, but I guess.
Snitches they have a skill set.
Snitches get stitches. Circle gets the square. Set. We are all now dumber for hearing that ending.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
No, we are.
It's true. We were discussing Billy Madison earlier today, and that came up. So I just had to bring that home from a different conversation.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
That being said, do you have a particular set of skills, just like Liam Neeson from the movie Taken, that can help you advance in life that someone else doesn't? Tell us about it. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Carnage. If you want to guess our EP Tom's certain set of skills, hit him up on Twitter and Instagram at liquid_EP.
That was perfect, man. That was, once again, a really good skill set.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate you. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Carnage.